there are a lot of Canadians, there are a lot of Canadians and Brits that do fly over here to get their health care. I'm glad you love us so much. Hey, anyways, it is kind of becoming like Mexico or a third world country here with the police and things. But I want to play you Chris Matthews involved in social terrorism. Here it is. This is Chris Matthews.
People willing to allow Barack Obama and his SARS to tax us into bankruptcy while Michelle Obama and her 26 aides live it up on our dime.
Wow. Let me go to Jonathan Martin on this. It seems to me, when I heard people going after the First Lady and the number of staff people they have, it sounds racist to me. It sounds like people are mad we have a black First Lady. That's what it sounds like.
There's no question that is, Chris, part of it with a certain element in the conservative base in Texas. Just the fact that we have a black president.
All right, that's enough. So there you go.
Look, why are we letting them frame the debate? Why are we letting the major media frame the debate?
No, I know. No.
What do we care if the mainstream is framing this debate or the insurance industry is framing the debate? I understand Whole Foods, okay, if they've got an interest in some of the media properties in Texas, okay, they're marketing in Texas, that's another story. That's why I'm saying come on to my show, CEO of Whole Foods. I talk to an international audience. You try to justify your comments in the Wall Street Journal to an international audience, and you're going to be laughed out of the show. No one's going to buy yours.
Hey, hold on a minute, Max. What did that last statement mean about Whole Foods having interest in Texas media markets? So come on your show, because I said I was going to try to get him on this show.
You said that they're an advertiser, right? You saying that?
No, they're not an advertiser.
I misunderstood. I thought you said they're an advertiser, and I respect that. Okay, but I thought that.
No, they're not. No. I said I live in Austin, so where Whole Foods started. There's a couple Whole Foods in Austin. I was saying I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not connected to Whole Foods or the Saudi Arabians or ABC
I apologize.
or Scientology or anything else or the Catholic Church or anything. I'm an independent person. So before the new rumor starts that I am Mackey and I pull a rubber mask off at night, or that I'm Bill Hicks. Have you seen that one? Or that I'm the guy that...
I mean, Alex, a comparison to Bill Hicks is a compliment. I mean, Bill Hicks is a brilliant social commentator. He was more than just a comedian. He really understood what was happening in the U.S. and during the first Bush administration, the first goal. I mean, to be compared to Bill Hicks, who I believe was also from Texas, is a huge compliment.
No, they say I am him.
Hicks is a genius.
They say I am Bill Hicks, that I staged my death.
Well, now you know who thinks he's Bill Hicks is that guy Dennis Leary. He thinks he's Bill Hicks, and that guy should be, he stole Bill Hicks's act.
Yeah, well, Dennis Leary really is a sack of crap.
I agree on that. We agree on that.
Since we're on the scatological bandwagon here today, my turd blossom will be right back.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
I'm looking at the Fall of the Republic article that Paul Watson wrote. It says personalities who appear in the movie: Gerald Celente, Alan Watt, Jesse Ventura, climatologist Tim Ball, economist John Perkins, Oath Keepers, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Webster Tarpley, Bob Bowman, Wayne Madsen, George Humphrey. We need Max Keiser in there, so please ask him to add Max Keiser. And there's a bunch of other people, too, who are in the film. And so, yes, Max is in the trailer for it. He's a big part of the film.
Where's the love for Max?
Keiser, have you had a lot of coffee today?
I want to do a shout-out to your crew, okay? Your crew is the hardest-working crew in radio, okay? And we were talking on the break what you need to do to, show your gratitude, okay? You got to show your crew some gratitude by, what we discussed during the break.
Yes.
So anyway, listen, Alex, we got to talk about this Pirate My Film thing.
Uh-huh. Tell me about
it.
Yes, please.
Okay, PirateMyFilm.com. I was on your show last time, and I mentioned the site. And I want you to go on the site and open an account. It takes 30 seconds. And you list a movie that you're trying to raise money for from the Pirates. This is the pirate futures exchange. So you say, let's say you need $50,000 for a film. You get people to give you $5 today, and then when you go make your film, you deliver a copy of the film. But not only do they get a copy of the film, but you cut them in to any advertising that you might get from your film. It's called the pirate yield. So the idea is, for example,
it's like sharing the booty.
Yeah, it's sharing the booty. So your film, Fall the Republic, which is coming out on October 21, which I'll be talking about on international markets and various outlets all over the world, you know, that film is going to get 20, 30, 40 million views. That means advertising. Now, if you all had shared in the financing of that film with your listeners, they would get some of that advertising money back to them at piratemyfilm.com. I realize it might not be as sexy as Garden in a Can, but it's the joint. You got to check it out.
Oh, Keiser, you're out of control. Interesting. I'll have to look at that. I noticed somebody already made a dummy Alex Jones account. That is not my account on there, but I will look into piratemygardeninthecan.com. And
it takes 30 seconds. You start a film. You say the Alex Jones Untitled. Have your crew do it. Untitled Alex Jones film. Okay, whatever the budget is. How much did your last film cost? You know, by the way, also, let me make this point about you, is that you're entirely financed by cash, and you don't actually use any debt financing. So when people come against Alex Jones, they got to realize that because you're honest about the banking system, you know, you can't go down to Wall Street and get a $10 or $15 or $20 million loan to build a movie studio. You got to do it the old school way. You got to get listeners one by one, cash, money bombs, any way you can do it. That's the Texas way. That's the Alex Jones way. That's the real way.
Well, I've been told it's strange, but no, we have no debt. Everything is paid for.
Because no one's going to lend you any money because you're a pariah. You think Citibank or J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs is going to loan Alex Jones $50 million to make movies, you know, with what we say about them on your show? No. So you got to go to the public. So piratemyfilm.com, it says, to hell with the studio financing, to hell with Wall Street, we're taking the media back. We're going to finance it. We're going to get paid to finance it. We don't need them speaking media companies.
Well, something you talk about is we could pre-sell product placement in our films, but then we couldn't sell very much. We have to sell it for a lot, you know, for what it cost us, because we do implant in the web versions some ads to try to get some of the money back.
That's what I'm saying. You pre-sell it.
Yeah, well, the reason we have had success is our great listeners buy the videos, buy the books at INFOWARS.com, and they're pretty low budget. I mean, my biggest budget film, which is Fall of the Republic, is going to be about $170 grand, and most films cost $100,000. We'll be right back. All right, Max Keiser is our guest for another 15 minutes. Then we've got Wayne Madsen coming on. Max, I wanted to get into some other subjects here. You heard me when you were on hold for a few minutes getting into Psychology Today, attacking me. And, I mean, it is whole cloth baloney. It implies I'm estranged from my parents, that I know no one, that I'm a liar, that I'm delusional, that I'm calling for people to carry out acts of violence. I mean, the system, don't they understand they're discrediting themselves just with their wholesale lying?
Well, you know, psychiatrists, you remember Hannibal Lecter was a psychiatrist, so that's about as credible a representation of that industry as you're going to find. Anybody who listens to the psychiatry industry might as well be going on a date with Hannibal Lecter.
Well, I mean, this whole thing is an ad for mind-altering drugs. The editor's note, the editor looks like she's had her soul sucked out here. I mean, these are I just get amazed by people this deceptive. Just a crew of, talk about piratical people. I mean, do you agree with me that it really has become just a ruling class that wants to say everybody's mentally ill so they can manage our lives and force drug us in a THX 1138 system?
Look, the oligarchy we talked about before, and it extends to these various industries, and the health industry and the drug industry is an industry that's being allowed to write policies for their own benefit. And if they've got psychiatrists and psychoanalysts, remember in the torture in Guantanamo Bay and these other areas in Iraq and Afghanistan, the American Psychiatric Association was actually having people there oversee the torture. They were actually witnessing the torture. Is that the role of a doctor, to oversee torture? So they're totally out of bounds in their industry. They've been discredited by their participation in torture in these places, and no one should listen to them. And obviously they have an interest in selling drugs and to keep people as mentally unstable and as incapable of forming rational thought and opinions as possible.